How's it going, guys? And welcome to another Katawa Shoujo. We just gotta get back returned. Right then, are you taking the bus, Lily? Lily motions a large suitcase standing beside her. I have to take this with me, so I booked a taxi. It'll meet us at the social school gate. At the social school, at the school gates in about 5 minutes. Ah, I see. Lily reaches down and feels at the handle for her suitcase. It waits causes her some difficulty, so I quickly offer to take it myself. That's awfully kind of you, Isao. She has no qualms about accepting, and I end up picking it up. It's not what I call light, but it's not exactly heavy either. I don't think I'd have too much trouble carrying it. Well, thank you then. We should hurry though. If the taxi leaves, then it would take quite a while to book a new one. Are you ready, Hanako? Yeah, let's go. We rush to the gate as fast as we can, only to find that the taxi has yet to arrive. Well, nothing like a bit of exercise in the morning. The nurse told me that I should be doing that. I think he probably had other things in mind, Isao, and probably with more regularity. Do you intend to be helping people with their luggage every day? I guess not. Looks like we got a bit of the wait anyway. How long should we wait for the taxi before calling them again? I would say another 10 minutes, but they've never let me down before. There's probably just a little traffic. Okay then. How long is it the flight to Scotland? About 16 hours, if I remember correctly. It's a bit hard to tell with the changing time zones. That sounds a bit correct, as England is like an hour away from me. Well, the time zone is like England is an hour behind from my time. And taking the plane from Denmark to Japan directly takes 11 hours. Or something like that. It takes a very long time. But 16 hours is a bit exaggerating. I would say 12 hours if it flies directly. So long. It's now that I realize Hanako's been unusually quiet. Even for her, she doesn't handle stress well, so she's doing really uptight. Yeah, I can't imagine being on a plane for that long. I've only ever flown on a short family holiday up north, so really it's quite hard to fathom. If Hanako spent so much of her childhood as an orphanage, she's probably traveled very little, let alone flown. That's not too bad. I'll spend most of it either asleep or catching up with my English. I hardly use that here, so I need to reaffirmalize myself with it a little. Will your accent be a problem? I wouldn't worry much about that too much. It may be an issue initially, but I should be fine once I get used to it. We all moved to sit down on the small bench beside the school gate in silence. Strangely enough, even though I know that Lily is going away, I can't think of anything to say to her. Lily's a reliable person, so it might be because she isn't that one I'm thinking the most. Lily might not be able to see it, but Hanako's chewing up her fingernails nervously. I move to talk to her, but I can hear an engine straining up the hill before I get the chance. Ah, I think your taxi's on the way. Well spotted, Isao. I only just heard it as well. A small wave of pride. Ha! I'm like... To have noticed something at the same time as Lily must mean that I have become more aware of my surroundings. Anyway, we won't have to call the taxi company. Don't worry about missing Lily's train. Once the taxi stops where we are standing, the driver rolls down the window and leans over. After confirming that, yes, Lily is the same Lily Sato that booked the trip, we sort out her luggage. The driver opens the trunk of the taxi and takes Lily's suitcase. But Lily's climbing into the back seat as he loads it into the trunk and slams it shut. After getting back up into his seat and shutting the doors, he waits us to say our farewells. Have a safe trip, Lily. Take care of yourself. Hanako looks understandably downcast. And that much is obvious even in her voice. Of course I will. I'll be back before long. Don't worry. There will still be another person here for you too. Won't there, Isao? Yeah, of course. I turn and smile to Hanako, putting my hand on her shoulder. She only managed to keep eye contact with me for a couple of seconds, her cheeks red all the while before turning back to Lily. See you, Lily. Goodbye. Lily gives her farewell to both of us in a fair measure of reluctance. Without further ado, the driver starts the engine once more and they begin their journey down the hill and towards the airport. The two of us stand at the gates for a long time, even after they disappeared from sight, not really knowing what to do. So, What do you want to do? I don't know. An option? Better do a save. Create a new save. I think we should try to head for the city. I mean, we got the day. The bus stopped, standing by the school gates like a mute sentinel. Puts a strange idea in my mind. Do you want to head into town and look for a bookshop or something? We have the rest of the day free. It's a long shot, as Hanako doesn't like going into the city. I count the fact that we managed to get her out there, even when it was so dark, as a small miracle. But I genuinely want to spend more time with her. Anyway, she's likely to just refuse and go back to... Okay. Really? Really? Let's go. I can't work out why Hanako has decided to agree with me. But I'm not about to ask her to change her mind. Stepping off the bus, I immediately noticed a lot of people around us. On inside, it should have been obvious. Of course, lots of people in downtown on a Saturday afternoon. Hanako retreats close to my side, and I can feel her hand clutching my arm tight now. Her body is held against mine, and her head is bowed so low that her head hides most of her scarring. So, where shall we go? A bookshop? Hanako's present and my other general living expenses have pretty much drained my budget. But I should be able to afford a few books. There's something I tried to reserve a few things for anyway. For a second I think Hanako didn't hear me. But then I look at my side and notice her nodding almost imperceptibly. Okay. Do you know of one? Actually, I do. We passed a few when Lily and I were looking for your presents. Hanako's expression clouds a fraction. I got her to remember to stop bringing up her birthday. You both spent a lot of time? Or maybe I misjudged the situation. We wanted to make sure we got the right present after all. Hanako smiles and blushes. It's a small treasure when she does. Anyway, there should be a bookshop just up ahead. You want to check it out? Sure. The crowd starts to build as we head towards the bookshop along the raised walkways. Hanako latches her other arm into me as well, making our progress a little slower. As we walk, the sound of the traffic makes me think it's a possible distraction for her. I was wondering, Hanako, have you thought yet about when you're going to learn to drive? Learn to drive? Driving? Yeah, you're kind of lucky in a way. There aren't a whole lot of students in Yamako that are allowed to drive. Oh yeah, she's older, wasn't she? What? She did say she was the oldest student. It's not the best topic of conversation, but I want to try to distract Hanako from the situation. She's really high-strung right now. And again, all I've really done is make her feel awkward. Since she's probably never thought about it, I wish I hadn't said anything. Before long, we are before one of the bookshops Lily and I passed by during our search. What kind of self-respecting bookshop closes on Saturdays? Bookshops don't make much money anymore because of the internet. Maybe they just had to close over weekends. She seems pretty knowledgeable about technology. I guess it's a pursuit that would lend itself well to someone who enjoys solitude. Huh, I guess that makes sense. It's easy to find books online. Anyway, it looks like this idea is shot. Anything else you'd like to do? If it's not a bother, could you show me where you bought my present? Sure, not a problem. It's not far from here. It's just over there. I head off to the direction of the stores. Only half sure of its exact location. I don't want to repeat that last time spending half of the day walking around aimlessly. Here we are. Othello Antiques. It's small. Well, yes, it took Lily and I it took some time to find it. Can we go in? I don't see why not. It's open. Hanako pushes through the door and enters before me. Once again, the store is empty, save for the store owner. His face drops a little when he sees me. Oh, you're not here for a return, are you? Wait, that's not the girl you had with you last time. No, we're not here to return anything. We're just in town and wanted to have another look in here. The store owner considers this for quite a long time. I guess he's not used to high school students coming to his shop on a regular basis. Might this be your friend you bought gifts for? That's right. They were presents for her. The store owner turns to Hanako, who freezes on the spot like a deer caught in the headlights. He moves to address her, but stops before doing so, looking a little taken aback. He catches himself staring and looks to the side, addressing us indirectly. His expression is awkward and tense, as is his entire body. I want to be mad at him, but I know full well that I had the same instinctive reaction when I first saw her. First surprise, then curiosity, then an awkward look away as I dealt with that scene. Hanako looks less panicked than before, but I think the feeling she's giving off now is worse. It's not anger or nor annoyance. If anything, it's one of apology. You're lucky there, young lady, to have friends that care about you as much as they do. Thank you. If I hadn't spent so much time with Hanako, I wouldn't have realized that she said anything. Then again, the store owner's mumble was hardly clear either, thanks in part of being directed away from us. Hanako strikes out in the store, gazing in wonder at the various items on display. She finds the doll section and spends lingering minutes studying each of every one. It's a side of Hanako that only barely seen introduced to. I was astonished when Lily said she liked dolls, and even more to find her collection sitting on her dresser. She looks a little redder now, she's distracted and out of the store owner's sight. But I'm still quite put off by the whole experience. I might have my own problems, but I never had strangers react to me like that, as if I was something completely alien to them. This is a nice shop. Yeah, it's not what I expected, but do you want to buy something? I didn't bring any money. Well, we can always come again. Now that I know where to find it, that is. We can? Of course, we can come here as often as you like. Thank you. You don't need to thank me. I almost forgot where this place was. I don't really think either of us completely believes in what we're saying. Rather, we're just repeating what we think we should say. Can we go back to the school now? Sure thing, let's go. As we leave for the bus stop, I see the store owner peek through the curtain at the back of the shop. I'm not really sure what that glance he gives to her what says. It feels a bit weird. But the fact that Hanako didn't see it as is both a relief and a bit frustrating. So, she's the girl they bought the present for. She started massaging his beard. You must grow. We must be like Guan Yu. Hanako and I stopped walking once we reached the concrete area between the dormitory building. There was barely a word said between us on the way back from the city. Well then, goodbye. Do you want to have some tea or something? How about a game? Hanako shakes her head embarrassingly. I'm tired. Maybe later. I got homework. She sounds a little depressed. Hanako obviously does want to do more, but I suppose she would have a bit of schoolwork to catch up on. She missed a few days of lessons. Homework. Thanks for reminding me. I got a stack to do as well. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. See you, Hisao. Before I can say goodbye, Hanako has turned and begun walking towards the entrance to the female dormitory building. I look at the door she disappears through for a bit before going off to my own dorms. Today was a tiring day. Was it really? We completed the chapter? Scars. Oh, it took me a while to realize what the picture was. When I first looked at it, it looked like some kind of bread or something. Why are you sending me a picture of bread and scars? I'm like, oh, that's a chest. I woke up, took my pills, had a nice shower, quickly slipped on my uniform. I ate a tasty breakfast, grabbed my bag, and headed off all as my per usual daily routine. It was only after arriving in class that the normality of the day was thrown off. After taking my seat, I watched my classmate trickle into the room over the next hour, until a very empty seat was eventually taken, other than Hanako's. The emptiness. There's no seat. Hanako is not here yet. But she's in there. And her chest is still... I can never get used to the idea that she just doesn't show up to class every now and again. It feels all the more worrying now as given that Lily's left. As Musu continues to drone on, I find my gaze flickering every now and often over to her seat, as if she might appear at any moment now. Nobody else seems to care at all about her absence, but they have little reason to. Hanako being absent from class, after all, is perfectly normal. Or at least it was. Her attendance hasn't been all that bad from what I've seen in my time here, but it was apparently much more spotted beforehand. This is also an ominous time for her to be gone. It's the day before her birthday. And my suspicions are starting to rise after the breakdown she had in class when it was mentioned. An increasing amount of my thoughts is taken up by how I can help her, but at the end, I feel like I can't do anything. The bell heralding the beginning of lunchtime rings out, shulking me out of my thoughts. A collective sigh of relief can be heard from the class, though Muto looks quite put off. He dislikes being interrupted in the middle of exciting lectures, after all. Just when I was wondering what I should do on lunch break, given that Hanako and Lily aren't here, the solution presents itself. Afternoon, Hichan. Afternoon, Misha. Shizune, you both look as bright as ever. Sichan wants to know if you'd like to have lunch with us today. Sure, it'll be good to have some company. The cafeteria hums with activity, much like my old school day. Yamako is different though, in how strangely civilized lunchtime rushes. What one would expect to be an unruly mob chomping in a bit to get the serving area is rather a neat and organized line. There's a small amount of jostling, and people's heads are often craning around to check on what's happening up ahead. It's pretty subdued. This is due, no doubt, to the very serious rules regarding such matters in this school. The same strict discipline is observed when students move in the hallways or come to and from their dormitories at the school gates. Or ground, what did it say? While the reason for it may be slightly off-putting, I've come to quite like the sense of order that's enforced in the school. I didn't really like being told by Shizune and Misha to get their lunches though. I feel a little used as I take the seat at the table where they're sitting, honking their food down in front of me. Sweet bread and strawberry milk for Misha, a bowl of ramen and juice for Shizune. I heave a sigh of relief as I put it all down, after the significant difficulty I have carrying it all in addition to my own lunch. Thank you! Misha claps her hands together before popping a wrapper and digging into her bread ravenously. Shizune giving an appreciative nod before giving steaming ramen a stir and blowing on it a little to cool it down. How about my own lunch? A pack of a sweet bread, and take a bite before washing it down with some juice. Bread is very sweet, so much so that I end up forcing myself to stomach it just to get the experience over with. Midway through, I decide to take a break from the different tasks and ask what's going on in my mind. So, I'm guessing you two had reason to drag me down here. You two seem to always have an ulterior motive, after all. What are you saying, Hifan? Oh, she's eating, that's why. What are you saying, Hifan? We will have area offer morphic. Her mouth is full of sweet bread as she speaks. It's a pretty unpleasant sight. She just looks as a little grossed up before going back to eating her ramen. I wait until Misha swallows what she has in her mouth before speaking again. You're not bothering me out to make me work for you after school. Nope. Just trying to extract information from me. Not trying to extract information from me that I might not want to give. Nuh-uh. Fine, you win. I guess you just wanted to eat lunch with someone as intelligent and handsome as I am then. That's it, Hichan. You got it. She looks unimpressed as Misha finishes signing her our conversation and sucks in the last of the long noodles. She signs her own thoughts. Hichan says she shouldn't be so suspicious of us. She's just doing her duty as a class representative after all. How is she... Are you doing that? As much as I hate to admit it, it looks like I still have trouble communicating with Shizune. It should be a simple matter of keeping eye contact with her and addressing Shizune instead of Misha in my speech. But when somebody else is doing the talking for her, it is a surprisingly difficult task. It's the class representative job to ensure everybody's doing alright in class, isn't it? Not really. Wait, how is it making me get your food ensuring that I'll go well in class? Shizune huffs and adjusts her glasses disapprovingly. So this is the thanks we get for giving you companionship during lunchtime? That's a total dodge of question. Wait, hang on. How did you know that I... Lily's away and Hanako's absent, and since those two are the only people you hang around with, you almost made it kind of obvious to see. Ouch! I may well have done so, but you didn't need to rub it in. Maybe this is a payback for before. Right, well, thanks. I appreciate it. And that isn't sarcasm. The two nod and we get back to finishing our meals. It feels like a little embarrassing to be accompanied by just because they noticed I was lonely, but it isn't as if they're strangers either. It isn't long before I finish the last of my bread and start on the last of my juice, and as I do so, I find myself mind wandering back to what I was been thinking about before the two interrupted my train of thought. It feels like I'm the only one in the class that much as acknowledges Hanako's not being there. It felt like at the other times she skipped class. But now it's even more acutely annoying. Or acutely annoying. Does anybody care if she's happy or not? Have they not just written off any possibility of helping to make her better? Imoto doesn't try to keep her in class, and I'm still not wholly convinced by his reasoning. Hey, Hit-chan, did you choose past its expiry date? What? You were pulling a weird face like this. As it were needed. Misha mimics my own expressions. Her exaggeration makes me grimace, though she at least takes some amusement from it. I was just thinking about Hanako. Oh. Misha's interest is piqued, and so is Shizune's, once my words are interpreted. I'm just worried about her being absent so often, especially now though. What with her birthday coming around? The memory of the incident in class are still fresh in their minds. The faces alone are telling that much. Do you know anything about Hanako? Anything that might help? She just shrugs and looks to Shizune, who wasn't distant for a while. The only people who ever talked to her for more than a sentence or two are you and Lily. Shizune may not be able to convey Lily's name in a derisive tone of speech, but I feel as if it comes through her own sign language. The effect is lost, however, after Misha's interpretation. There are a couple of things we know about Hanako as student council members, thanks to the records I've passed through our hands, but we can't say anything about what's in them. Understandable. Sounds like they're in a nurse's patient's confidentiality. Every time I find someone that knows something about Hanako's past, it turns up being a dead end. The only way I'll ever find out is by asking her. I don't know if she'll let me know such things, but if it's for her sake, I have to at least try. Don't worry about it, Hit-chan. It happens every year after all. It doesn't remove any sense of worry at all. I still feel a little at fault for what happened in class. This feels like it goes further, even further their confirmation of that fact. Misha notes my troubled expression, her own usually happy and reassuring face dropping. Everyone has troubles they have to deal with, right, Hit-chan? Yeah, I just wish I could help Hanako more with hers. With that, the conversation trails off in a depressing note. Eventually, Misha managed to pick up the mood back up through her usual bright and bubbly antics, but my mind remains focused on Hanako. I'll go check on her later. I make sure my door is locked after dropping off my school bag. The dorms are quiet, which kept me occupied longer than I expected. Discussing my studies after classes ended with pressing on me on the worksheet to give Hanako almost an afterthought. Absorbed in the thoughts, I'm late in registering the shadow that appeared in front of me, looking up to realize the owner of said shadow. Hey man, I haven't seen you in a while. Oh hi. What's with that response? My absent-minded greeting visibly annoys him. I probably had some reaction. Sorry, just thinking a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff have to wait till the next part of Katawa Shoujo. Yes. I'm gonna leave you guys with a high five. We're almost up, Jenny. Safe here. Don't you worry, baby. No, I'm still suspicious of you.